Morning, everybody. It's the first day of December, 2020. I'm just gonna talk you through what happened yesterday for the hour one breakout system. Um, it wasn't a very great day for me. I made a couple of errors, and also there was a little bit of luck involved, which didn't go my way this time. But no, not the end of the world. Only one hour lost. Let me take you through the trades. Starting with euro against the dollar, as always. You could see my trade here. This is my entry on a breakout of all of these highs here that formed this range overnight. My stop would have been underneath this candle here. I was, as I've been talking about in the analysis, I really thought that the euro could hit 1.2 today. I'll try and talk you through, although I kind of stuck to the rules with this trade, I have amended the rules. So when this kind of thing happens, you can still take advantage and make an art, and I'll explain what I mean. Usually when the market goes to around about half hour, we move the stop to break even, like so. This was the case here because the market almost reached target. So the market got as far as here before selling off and took us out. And then it found support off this previous resistance here, and then went and hit 1.2 before selling off quite violently with this 2-bar reversal candle. My amendment means that once you have 3 tests of resistance, which we did here, 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4, instead of moving the stop to break even, I actually risk a little more, move it somewhere which is behind the previous resistance, and hopefully that will be support. I didn't follow my plan on this one, and instead I moved to break even. Maybe I thought it was going to go there. I'm not really sure, but I ended up taking it off and then watched the market reach target without me. So it happens, but yeah, it went without me on this one, and unfortunately, even the break lower, the entry would have been here. After this reaction to 1.2, this would have got you half hour. The reason why I didn't take this is because this break happened around about 3:30 in the afternoon. And I try and exit my positions around about 3:30 to 4 o'clock. So I didn't enter this one, although it's going to go down in the journal as a 3 o'clock trade, just so I can keep an eye. If I suddenly see an increase of wins around 3 o'clock, then I'll continue trading. I mean, this is just something that I've been taught, that we start to close out positions around 4 o'clock. Doesn't mean that I have to stop trading then. So it might be something to look at in the future. I mean, I'm in the office anyway till 7, 8 o'clock sometimes. So I don't see why I can't. So it's going to go down as in the journal as a trade and a win. Because it didn't even come back to break even. It just left. So even if you left it there overnight, you would have had a good result. Obviously, if the entry was here, the stop would have been up here, and you won somewhere around there. So that was the euro. GU. Now you can see what I mean, why luck didn't go my way, and also, this is my error as well. This was my entry right on the 8 o'clock candle, which is this one. This is my target, and my stop would have been above this candle here. I just this line is where my target, where I moved my target after. Originally it was more like somewhere down here, and I think I missed it just by half a pip. Now the reason this is frustrating is because my stop was 26 points, so if I wanted to achieve 1R, then my target should be 26, and it actually went 26. So yeah, it's slightly missed out. If I was a little bit more alert, maybe I could have taken off the trade somewhere around there. But if you look on the if you look on the lower time frames, it was this trade. Then it was like a bit of a spike. You would have had to been quick and watching this pair at the time. The second trade. The second trade was this one. So after trying the short, which didn't work, and this kind of candle, I was happy to take the long, but I wanted to wait for this high to be cleared, which it was. We immediately sold off, and then the market rallied, and it looked like it was going in the right direction. It didn't get to, if I zoom out a bit, so here's my entry. The stop was down here underneath this candle, and the market rallied. It didn't quite get to half hour. I was looking to test these highs and hopefully clear this one, which we ended up finding resistance at, and then the market suddenly started to sell off pretty rapidly. And again, this is around about 3 o'clock, 3:30. So I decided that things wouldn't go in my way today, and I would just take it off for a half-hour loss. So theoretically, for GU, it was a minus half-hour loss, but I could have perhaps saved. I could have perhaps got 1R here, which would have put me in front for this pair. Had I been more alert and more switched on yesterday. It's funny how like your luck and mistakes seem to go hand in hand for me. But I'm trying to get better, and this is what we're going to do. This is UY. Unfortunately, the breakout came around 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m. I start trading at 8, but you could have perhaps taken this trade at 7 a.m. should you have been here. And it was a great breakout on UY. Would have went straight to target. This is something I'm also looking at. If this would have been, see this reaction to this high here, with also a huge area to test above it. This is something I'm looking at to take advantage of. Now, the reason I didn't enter this one, although I was looking at it at the time and I thought it was an attractive trade to take, because there's only one high here. If we would have had a couple more bars, maybe like 2 or 3, that was previous resistance and then acted as support, then this would be an advanced trade for me. And you don't just get you have to put into context, like, would this bar be the bar that you would enter on? Because it does kind of test this previous resistance as a support. Not quite, it's probably like half a pip away, but you get the true test on this candle, and it would have been a great trade. So that was unfortunate. The timing just wasn't there on UY. But I'm just giving you examples of how you can trade this system. Onto EY. Like I said, for UY, this was the range in the morning, which was a really tight range, and the market broke it at 7 o'clock. Like I just said, we don't trade, or I don't trade at 7 o'clock. I wait until this 8 o'clock candle where the breakout has already happened. There was enough room to test this high if we were trading at 7 a.m. And the market would have got straight there had you stopped being put in the correct position, which is the low end of this type range. The actual trade came here. This wasn't the best place to enter the market. Excuse me. Although it was a valid-ish trade, here's the signal, new signal. There's a good place to start for the market's in an uptrend. There's this huge level of 125, which has been a triple top in the past. If you've watched the analysis videos, you knew I was talking about this level. But even if I was talking about it, I still made probably a bad judgment and entered around this big top here. Instead of maybe placing the order above it, waiting for this high to clear, I thought the waiting for 125 to clear was enough, and unfortunately I got tagged and no real chance of doing anything. The market went directly to my stop loss. So yeah, not the best judgment, but I think we're going to get it back soon. I think this level's not going to hold for much longer. If you look at the daily bar, there was a bit of a bearish candle, which overnight already we seem to be the bulls seem to be fighting back and reclaiming their lost territory. So let's see what happens today. Onwards to GY. Remember I was saying about bad luck? Well, I sold the absolute low from the London Open, which is a bit unfortunate. I was waiting for this kind of low to clear, and I thought that we might see a test of the previous low put in on Friday, especially after such a reaction to 139 big round number. Unfortunately, if my entry would have been slightly lower, would have been okay, but not much to do here. Pretty much went straight to my stop. So as the rules of the system, if it didn't work on the sell side, we tried the other side. I wanted to wait for this high to be clear, and there's also 1, 2, 3 times the bears tried to hold this level of big round number 139. They were overrun. I was expecting it to then go and test. If I can just zoom out, delete this. Yeah, I thought there would be enough times that the bears tried to force the market downwards. It didn't work. That we might see a pop higher up towards these highs of last week. But in fact, the market just chopped around, so it wasn't a very a day yesterday with very much direction. And also on this trade, I actually took a small loss because I thought there would be enough previous resistance areas that might act as support. So I wanted to risk a little more, which I should have done with the euro trade. But this one didn't work, and I ended up taking a quarter of an hour loss instead of a break even. EA, the euro Aussie. The trend was going up. There was this high made London Open. We kind of traded sideways since then. So I wanted to see if we broke this range and pushed higher, which we did. Unfortunately, we didn't quite reach target up here. Stop would have been under here, and the market went up, tried twice, and came back and stopped me at break even. So just not quite enough for me to get to attain 1R. Although if you were trying to achieve a half R target, you would have got it. So it goes in the journals a half R win. Although I don't look for half R wins, I try and take everything out of 1R. It's just what suits me. If you would have put the stop underneath this pin bar, maybe you would have got it, but that's not what I did. So it's a break even for me. This is where one of the wins came in the dollar CAD. Now, this is quite interesting because here is the true signal. The stop loss is quite obvious. You could either put it above all these highs at the top end of this range. You could be super conservative and put it above this big round number, 130. Or you could be really aggressive and enter here where the signal was. The only problem with that is that you're entering into this support, which happened overnight and on Friday. So I wanted to wait for those to clear, and I entered on a break of this low. There was, I wasn't too. I was a little more aggressive on my stop loss and placed it above these highs. And once entered, there wasn't much fuss. We got to target pretty quickly. If you've watched the analysis videos, you know that 129.50 in the CAD is quite a huge level, especially approaching the monthly close yesterday. I thought a close below 129.50 would create further selling of the dollar against the CAD, but the bulls fought back with a vengeance yesterday and managed to push CAD higher all the way up to 130 before closing overnight. But as you can see today, this dollar weakness is really continuing. So we could be in for some fireworks soon. Aussie dollar, again, a little bit unfortunate. This is the signal was actually penetrated on a 7 a.m., but I wanted to wait this low to clear, and after the bulls fought back, if the bears could then attack again and get below this low, perhaps there'd be some stops here, but the market just traded sideways for a couple of hours. My stop loss was up here, so as soon as we entered, the bulls fought back again on this candle, and I thought I might have been in trouble, but we just ended up trading sideways for a few hours. And when the market does that, I don't really want to be in it. So after a second test of this low, I made the decision that once we were down here, I would move a stop to break even and get out of the trade. I don't want to be trading. I'm trading breakouts. I don't want to be in the sideways market. So I gave it enough time. I was in the trade from 8 o'clock, and I exited at 2 o'clock. But then 3 o'clock, the market sold off, and unfortunately went without me. It's just how it goes sometimes. Gold. It's been a nice pair to trade. Unfortunately, pretty sideways yesterday. It was a Monday, last day of the month, and after a big sell-off, we can expect some sideways action. So no trade on gold yesterday. The FTSE. This was around 2 o'clock, which is US Open. Here's my trade. I was aggressive in my stop position. I believe my stop was above this high. Probably the more